This effort, undertaken by the Green Movement of Sri Lanka, the Ministry of Environment and the Forest Department, enriches the founding ideas behind the Watershed Conservation Day, which is part of Sri Lanka's Conservation Week to celebrate World Environment Day 2024, and one that can be easily replicated not only across the knuckles, but anywhere that a large swathe common, such as a river or a forest, are used by a number of communities. The UNESCO World Heritage Site, known as the Knuckles Conservation Forest, or the KCF, lies within the Knuckles mountain range and is home to some of the most unique fauna and flora in Sri Lanka. Its bio-isolation has caused this endemism, and that has prompted the world to recognize it as one of the greatest biodiversity hotspots in the world. The KCF is literally a water fountain, giving the Mahavalley a full 30% of its water and watering areas as far-flung as Puttalam, Anuradhapura, Badulla, Polonnaruwa and Ampara districts. Yet, despite its beauty, it is also highly fragile as an ecosystem, and it is threatened by climate change, development aggression and anthropogenic activity. The Pitawala Patana is one of many beautiful landscapes that lie within this region. It feeds the Sudhuganga, the Kaluganga, the Telgamoya and the Ambanganga, while the upper Ratninda Elle in the upper conservation area feeds the Telgamoya. These areas also eventually feed the Kaluganga and Murugahakanda reservoirs, and importantly, the daily water needs of area residents. Understanding the significance of this area to the water security of the country, the Green Movement of Sri Lanka has engaged its communities and its environs for over 2 decades, working to balance the human-environment interface and mitigate the negative impacts of climate change and environment-insensitive development. In the past, it has utilized the volunteerism of over 300 trained environmental activists to engage in assisted natural forest regeneration, improving green cover, and removal of alien invasive species. Vitally, the Green Movement has created awareness of the importance of sustainable water management to area residents that involved conservation of watersheds and water sources, water delivery, and optimizing water usage. An example of this is the management of a water source that feeds 245 families in the Rathaninda area. Before the intervention, the residents used the waters of a mountain spring, which was the only source of water, in an ad hoc manner. This resulted in some families using an excessive amount of water, whereas others received barely enough for their needs. Overall, not only did these cause localized water conflicts, but also created conditions for water waste. The movement, masters at resolving such issues, worked with the residents and the local government to improve conservation of the water source by expanding green cover, establishing water tanks in the lower regions, and metering the water usage of residents. The result was not only management of a limited water source, but management by a far more aware community who now understood the importance of water conservation, not only for themselves, but for those who used the same for water further downstream. And this created a significant upstream-downstream cooperation in the use of a common natural resource. This small but important example is one that can be used not only for smaller streams feeding smaller communes, but larger running water bodies including entire rivers, their catchments, their basins, and their communities. The effort enriches the founding ideas behind the Watershed Conservation Day, which is part of Sri Lanka's Conservation Week to celebrate World Environment Day 2024, and one that can be easily replicated not only across the knuckles, but anywhere there is a large swathe common, such as a river or a forest, which is used by a number of communities.